How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. We're going to look at a quick review of some of the weapons. So we're going to start off with the first two. I think that's probably just the best way to go about it. And then we'll get into the AA-12 review in just a moment. So, real quick, we're going to start off. We'll do the AS-Val first. The AS-Val, in my opinion, is a very strong assault rifle. And it looks really cool. If you hit tier 100, you obviously get this version where you can see it glows in the dark. The barrel also glows, which looks very, very cool in obsidian. As most of you probably know by now, this weapon has a very fast time to kill. And also has, in my opinion, I've noticed, has a very good headshot multiplier. I'm not sure if that's actually a thing or not, but I know that it does very, very good damage to the head. The one drawback I have seen every now and then is the fact that it technically can have a lot of recoil, though with the right attachments, this thing is just an absolute monster. As you guys can see, it's nothing too crazy, I guess. The ADS is also pretty dang good on this thing. So, if I had to give this some kind of a rating or something like that, I'm not even sure. I do find this weapon to be fun to use in Warzone, although I would not recommend using this like over a Grau setup. And the reason I say that is the Grau, it's just super accurate when you got the right attachments on it, and it's absolutely insane. It's such a good one. So the AS-Val, in my opinion, kills very quickly. You have a lot of really good attachments that you can put on it. So the one I was using there was a basic recoil one. Here we have the marksman rounds. Sorry about the accuracy, that was pretty trash. It is one shot to the head, as we can see right there. The marksman rounds are good. I mean, you can shoot people from very, very far away. Ground war maps, I was able to hit people at about 300, 400 meters, which is very, very good. You do have to aim up a little bit when you get to those further ranges, however. But obviously, as you can tell, the fire rate of this is also very good. Which kind of just means it's a very good all-around rifle. If you're looking for something where, let's say you don't like the iron sights on it, I highly recommend a build similar to this one. I'll show you what it is. I just have a normal sight. You can put it whatever you want. Ranger 30 stipple, and then the VLK stock. The VLK is an extremely good stock. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And as you can see, this thing is a laser beam. If I could actually land my shots, I was kind of expecting recoil, and there wasn't any. Other things that should be pointed out about this weapon, of course, is that there are the pros and cons. I'd say the biggest con is that it shoots quickly and it runs out of ammo quickly. I'd say that's the biggest con. You can also set this thing up to be pretty good at hip fire if you really want to, which I also recommend. It's very good. And as you can see, the ADS is still pretty good on this thing. My accuracy apparently is just trash with it, though. I've gotten so used to the iron sight I can't hit anything with a red dot somehow. So those are my main setups. If you want something you're really good with the accuracy, you want something quick and fast that you can run around and mow people down with, then I highly recommend that you put on the ADS barrel, 30 round stipple, and then you put on the skeleton stock. I still run the Ranger foregrip because I'm just not sure what else to run on it, if we're being honest. But as you can see, this thing makes it quick. You could put on a laser rather than the Ranger if you want. I have the Ranger or the Merc, doesn't really matter which one, something that just reduces recoil by a small amount. But as you can see, you don't really need the recoil to be taken away a whole lot, because this thing has remarkably good recoil. Obviously, there are some attachments where they feel a little more inconsistent at range. Let's see if I can... So like something like this, you kind of have to get used to it, or you could burst fire, tap it a little bit. The only thing that I would say with this one that is a little, you know, more is the fact that it does go left to right. It's not just an upward recoil. If you put on the VLK, it will be more of an upward recoil, in which case you can just do whatever you want with it. It makes it pretty easy. So, moving on to the next weapon, we'll go ahead and talk about the sniper rifle. Now, the sniper rifle, as we all know, started off broken as hell. I don't know if these weapons are going to get any more patches, but I just wanted to go ahead and get this video out. So, the loadout I'm currently using here is my Warzone loadout, although I would use, yeah, here we go, the variable zoom, as you can see here. I feel like the variable zoom doesn't zoom in as far as I would like it to, but it does work. Now, those of you who don't know, the Lapua actually have less range than the Norma rounds, so you want to use the Norma. So my setup is monolithic suppressor, the biggest barrel, the Norma, and then you don't need to run attack laser. You could run an ADS attachment of some kind. You could run something, you know, you can run multiple things, and as you can see, the ADS on this isn't bad either. It's not great, but it's not, you know, a tragedy. Now, if you're more into the quick scoping like I am, where you actually like running around hitting shots, if you haven't seen my Obsidian video for this weapon, I have a montage there. This will be the new setup. I have not used this setup, I just know that this is the new setup. It is the 10 round with the shortened barrel sniper scope, obviously. You put on the ADS stock as well, and all of a sudden I cannot hit my shots. I have not used this, but it does feel a little more awkward than before the patches. They're still not terrible though. But you guys get the gist of it. You will get a couple more hit markers because you are running just the normal shots, so you want to aim high chest or head. So do keep that in mind. Another thing I've seen a decent amount that I'm sure some of you guys have seen is the all ADS attachment, which is this. Don't put on a scope, you put on the smallest barrel, you leave the normal magazine in, you put on a laser. As you can see, this thing zooms in extremely quick. I also put on the faster fire rate bolt assembly. This thing's kind of just like a bullying thing. It's if you are trying to, you know, get double kills or mounted kills, or I don't know. It's mostly just a bully weapon, honestly. It's very fast moving, very fast aim, and if you get used to the iron sights on it, it just is ridiculous. Personally, I don't know if anyone else shares this opinion with me, but I don't think sniper rifles as a whole should... I don't think marksman rifles that are like this as a sniper rifle, or like the Kar 98 for instance, I get the idea of them having iron sights, I just don't like the idea of a weapon being able to one-shot at such a far distance and still having it. Next up we have the AA-12 here, which if you guys haven't played recently, then you wouldn't have seen, because everyone's fucking using this right now. This is the base version. This is the base, and it is good. I like shotguns in COD games. I don't know about the rest of you. The thing is, I don't enjoy leveling them up as much as other weapons. The AA-12 also comes with Slug and Dragon's Breath, which, what more can you ask for? But it also has these, which are frags. And as you can see, it literally fires slug-styled frags. It is a 2-shot, 1 to the head, however. It does have drop, although you have to be pretty far away for the drop to like really be noticed, in my opinion. The one thing I will say about this is you do have to kind of aim ahead of the opponent that you're shooting at, so do keep that in mind. Now lastly, for the AA-12, I have, these are all the range attachments and then a 32 round. As you can see, we have much slower movement speed, but the amount of damage output that you can do with this thing is ridiculous. The range alone that you can get, I'm going to shoot someone from right here. Obviously, the ADS could be helped. This is literally just range attachments. I normally, for a build like this, I recommend not the Ranger. You want the ADS stock. This is the one I would run if I had to choose. And the reason for that is you still maintain the range. I mean, look at that. I'm shooting him up there. The range on this is absolutely crazy. So it's a fully automatic shotgun. It doesn't require a whole lot of skill. It doesn't require a whole lot of thinking either. You kind of just hold the trigger. One thing I will say, it goes without saying, most of this is the same with most shotguns. When you are using the AA-12, it is very important to aim down your sight. It tightens the pellet spread as far as I've seen. It seems to increase the range, obviously. So I highly recommend that you do aim down sight when using it. So let's go over a couple things about the AA-12 real quick. So the AA-12, in terms of the hardest thing that I found when getting Damascus was actually the point blanks. Point blanks were hard because of how good the range is. Everyone else is using it. It's hard to get really close to somebody. So what I found to be the most useful is to put on the fastest attachments that you can. Anything that decreases movement speed, like this, it seems good because you got the ADS. Don't put it on. Don't put it on. Put on the 5 milliwatt so you get sprint to fire quickly. You get a little bit better hip fire because you're going to want to slide into people is probably your best decision. Don't put this on. I know it increases movement speed and it, you know, it does all that kind of fun stuff. It's great, but it widens your pellet spread, thus lowering your one-shot kill range. The other thing I highly recommend is sleight of hand because you have 8 shots in it. You want to be kind of careful where you're placing those shots. You could run Dragon's Breath if you so wish to do so, although I don't see the pro or the con to it. You can if you want. You are primarily going to be hip firing, so you could put on the Marauder if you want. It will not slow you down. It will increase your damage range and your pellet spread, though. So this was my point blank class that I had set up. It works very well, and it allowed me to slide into people, and it was very difficult to get those. So to put it into perspective, by the time I was done with all of my other challenges, this one just hit pink, which means I still needed 20 more. Luckily, I did get shipment, and I just slid into freaking everybody, and I just unloaded. I had like 110 kill match. It was terrible, yet satisfying. I will be going for Obsidian with it. As you guys know, I've kind of been doing Obsidian grinds, and I'll continue that into the next game. I don't know why. It's just Call of Duty's been calling my name recently, so I've been playing it. As for the AS Val, this is my setup for if you want good accuracy, but you still want a good-ish aim down sight. The sniper class is the 200 Commando 4-grip, Dragon, Nov, Scope, and the VLK. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words right now. I already showed my long distance. The quick scoping class is this now. I have not really used this a whole lot. I just know that this is being run currently. If you don't think you want the 10 round, or you, for any reason, just you don't want 10 rounds, I then recommend, I guess, the rechamber or sleight of hand. Sleight of hand would probably be my first before bolt assembly, but that would be a good quick scoping class. If you have trouble with recoil and you want a sight on the VOK, this is the one I was showing in game. It provides a good aim down sight and good accuracy. You can run through any sight you want. I'd stay away from big magnifiers, but of course it's up to you. As for the R700, this is my setup for just bum rushing people, really close quarter style. And this is my AS-Val close quarter setup. We got the aim down sight, barrel, Ranger, 30, stipple. Surprising enough, if you put a VOK on this thing, just the way it's set up, it'll have the exact same recoil pattern as this one. You lose the damage range and bullet velocity, but I think it's actually worth it. This is actually the class I was using the most during my Obsidian grind right here, because when you start to get tired, you want good accuracy and you just want to do good damage. You don't really want to have to adjust a whole lot, and this provided that for me. It had good aim down sight, and I didn't have to adjust a whole lot to land my shots. So I highly recommend it. And that's basically it for the reviews of the gun. I'd say the AA-12 is one of the strongest shotguns currently. It's hard to say what would come up. The Origin 12 is still very good in close quarters, but this thing is really good as well. I'd say all of these weapons can probably, or the 725, R90, and the 680, and the AA-12 all can one-shot or two-shot at pretty good distances. The VOK got some good buffs too. It's not as bad as it used to be. As you can see, the range and the damage is still pretty good. It doesn't have as short of range as the Origin, but the Origin just murders in close quarters. But you also have to put into account, this is a fully automatic shotgun with not a whole lot of recoil, meaning you can throw a 32-round drum on. You can just hold down the trigger all day long. It doesn't matter. You can also put frags on. You could snipe with it. I mean, you got the slugs, you got Dragon's Breath. It's kind of a very easy-to-use shotgun. It's kind of a no-skill styled shotgun. At least that's what I've been told quite a few times earning Damascus. A lot of people were just pointing out, they're like, wow, that gun takes no skill. Why are you using it so much? And I'm like, well, it's the only gun I don't have Damascus right now. So, and it was new. I got it Damascus the day of, so it's very, very good. As for the AS-Val, in normal play, like on core, hardcore, anything like that, I would say that it's a very strong weapon with its rate of fire and its damage. It kills very, very quickly. Now, in Warzone, a lot of people want to say that it's extremely good. I think the Grau, being able to hold more rounds, being a laser beam at almost any range, is still super good. Now, if you were to say that the AS-Val against like a SCAR or an AK, because they shoot a little bit slower, I could see that. There are AK setups where you can get very good damage at range, but the AS-Val has very good ADS for the range that you're able to hit, which I think is the big thing. Same goes with the Grau. The ADS and the range you're able to hit is crazy. The M4 obviously is also still very good. The Kilo has no recoil, same as the Grau, but I think the Grau is just, in my opinion, slightly better. The Kilo is obviously, I'd say one of those two are probably the best. The M4 is not bad either, though. The M13 is also very good. Lastly, the marksman rifle, the SPR, is, as I've heard it described a lot, is the middle ground between a Kar98 and a HDR when it comes to Warzone. It zooms in slightly farther than the Kar98. They both have close to the same damage range. If you put on the Norma, obviously you have increased range, which is preferred. The HDR has a better zoom and also has better range. And the Kar98 has the lowest zoom out of all of them. But in normal play, right, if we're just doing like core, right, I actually think the SPR is probably a little bit better, just a slight amount due to how fast you can truly aim. The Kar98 is still no slouch. The Kar98 is still great. These two weapons, I think, are the best quick-scoping weapons in the game, just for how fast you can aim and fire. Obviously, the MK2 is up there as well for the sole fact that you just have to land a bullet to the chest, which is pretty easy. You can throw a sniper scope on this thing as well. Next up would probably be the AX-50, because you can, set it up as a close quarter-ish sniper rifle. But it does not have as good of ADS as these other ones that we've been talking about. You can set it up, you can have this whole thing running, you can have focus, all of it. But they will, the SPR and the Kar98 will still aim faster than you. This has probably a little bit better of a one-shot capability, but once you learn where to place your shots, the SPR and the Kar98 are just better. The SPR is probably a little bit better than the Kar98 right now, although I see people using both. So that's just a brief-ish overview on what I think of the weapons currently. Obviously, I'll go for Obsidian at some point with the shotgun. I have a lot of homework these next couple weeks, but in between breaks and stuff, I'll get some matches done and get some of my stuff done. Obviously, I still need to record for some other games. Those of you who don't know, unfortunately, my desktop kind of hit the shitter. A fan broke, and it kind of messed up a whole lot of things, so my computer's probably out of commission until probably early November. So as far as playing on PC, I can't. I can't play on PC right now because my desktop is out. So I'm recording everything to my laptop, so please, if you see any issues with the recording, let me know. I'll try to mess around with my laptop. It's a 5-year-old laptop. It's been with me for a long time. I've been doing school on it. It's it's stuck with me, but yeah, I can play PC. But my laptop can't render high enough quality stuff from the PC, so I'm gonna have to wait to do PC games on my be recording onto my laptop, because I do not have the editor that my desktop has. So just bear with me, guys. I know it'll be a little bit, but playing on Xbox, I won't really have to worry about any of that with my laptop. But if you do notice any quality distortions, please let me know. It might be some bloatware, or fuck, for all I know, it could be my college trying to do stupid shit to my computer. They seem to do that a lot. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully my computer will be fixed and good. I probably still need to do some hardware upgrades for next gen, stuff like that. We'll see. I still have I think a 280 in it. I know the 3060's out. I didn't have the... I don't think I had a Ti. I can't remember anymore. But my computer's about 3 years old when I built it, so like I said, it's going to take a bit. But anyway, thanks for putting up with me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.